This time of year, I get so excited to make all the pumpkin recipes. I love pumpkin cookies, pumpkin pancakes, cupcakes, and pie, but the treasured recipe that I make most often is this pumpkin bread. I'm Lauren from TasteBetterFromScratch.com, where you can find this recipe as well as hundreds of other family-friendly recipes. The smell of fresh baked pumpkin bread brings me right back to my childhood. And you know a recipe is a great one when you want to share it with all your friends and neighbors whenever you make it. We're gonna start off with half a cup of butter and 2 cups of sugar mixed together in a mixing bowl. Be sure to use softened room temperature butter so that you can mix these together nice and smooth. Next, we're adding 1 whole 15-ounce can of canned pumpkin. I also have a recipe on my site for homemade pumpkin puree if you want to use real pumpkin. And we'll need 3 eggs. And lastly, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Grab a clean mixing bowl and we're gonna add our dry ingredients. We have 2 3/4 cup of flour, half a teaspoon of baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/4 teaspoon each of ground cloves and nutmeg. I just love the smell of these fall spices. Now grab your wet pumpkin mixture. We're gonna alternate adding the dry flour with the milk until we've added all of this flour mixture and milk. Pour a little bit of flour in first, whisk that together. Add half of the milk. Now we're gonna add the rest of the flour and then the rest of the milk. You can use your electric mixers if you want for this part, but I just use a spoon or a whisk. You don't want to over-mix the batter. When you've got the milk and flour mixed in, we're gonna add our chocolate chips. Ghirardelli semi-sweet is my favorite kind. You can use milk chocolate or whatever you like. This recipe makes 2 loaves of pumpkin bread, so we're using a whole bag of chocolate chips. Our batter's mixed together. Go ahead and grab 2 loaf pans. I've put a piece of parchment paper at the bottom, then sprayed it with nonstick cooking spray so that these loaves will release easily. And we're going to divide the batter evenly between each loaf. You could also make 1 regular loaf and 2 mini loaves if you want to share these with your friends and neighbors, or you can freeze the leftovers. This bread freezes wonderfully. We're ready to stick these in the oven at 350 degrees for about 45 to 50 minutes. I like to check them around 40 minutes. You could put a piece of aluminum foil on the top if they're getting too browned. You can test if they're done by sticking a toothpick in the center, and it should come out clean or with just a few moist crumbs. That way you know it's not doughy in the middle. You can run a knife around the edges if you think it's stuck at all, and then we're just gonna invert these onto a cooling rack to cool completely. I've waited so patiently, the loaf is finally cool, let's slice into it. Some people like the end pieces, I like the ones closer to the middle, super soft. This just doesn't even compare to something you would get at the store. Homemade pumpkin bread is so good. Super moist on the inside, a little bit of a crunch on the outside. I love the blend of the pumpkin flavors with the cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, and the chocolate chips. It's just so rich, moist, and delicious. I love that you can freeze these. You can give them away to friends and neighbors. You're gonna love this. Thanks for watching, you guys. You can find the full recipe in the video description. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future recipes that taste better from scratch. We'll see you next time.